We've had plumbing problems in this house since we moved in 2 years ago. My floors are really bad. Like we can't walk on them, and I have little children here, so I need these to be fixed.
Worst plumbing job ever. If you're a renter or a homeowner and you see things like this around your house, you may want to call a plumber. You may want to call an exorcist. This is not just the worst plumbing job. This may be the scariest. If you look around this tub, you've got a very small crack starting up here, and it starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger all the way around until it comes down to here. If you look down here, the wall and the tile, well, you've got almost a full inch of separation here from the wall down to the floor. And what happens under the house is, and I don't know what caused this, was there plumbing problems first? Was there foundation problems first? But when you get, say, an inch of separation there, you think about cast iron pipe going into a gasket or a hub or something like that. And if it pulls apart that far, well, that can be enough to make it leak even more or allow roots to get in and do different things. And normally that's what the problem is. So you see all the problems here. You've also got it all along the back of this wall and on the other side of this wall in the living room. So if you're a homeowner and you're having problems like this, it's time to think about seriously calling a plumber to do a sewer water test or call a foundation company. And we'll talk more about those in a minute and which one you want to do first. But just wanted to show you what's going on in here. Now let's step outside and look at some crazy stuff we see out there. And then let's go ahead and run a camera up the sewer and see what we can see. I just got to tell you, I hate seeing stuff like this because I understand the reroute and understand the purpose of it. But here's what normally happens. If a plumber does a reroute like this, what they do is they come in, they open up the wall from behind it. Don't get me wrong, man, they trim this out like a master carpenter.
Must have taken forever to build.
Yeah, not too bad, about 70 hours. Which isn't bad considering I carved it all by hand from one piece of wood.
Okay, maybe not a master carpenter, but they trimmed it out at least. But the thing about it is they'll normally just come in and disconnect the line going down, tie into it. So we've got the kitchen right back here. So this is your kitchen line coming out now. Looks like they put a 22.5 degree right on the bottom of maybe the T that catches the arm or something. But here's the problem with this, is when they discontinue that line, they don't climb under there and go in there and cap it off or anything like that. So if there's ever roots getting in it, getting up further in the line and causing blockages anywhere else, what happens is, well, they'll get in that line and come all the way up. You're going to be able to make your kitchen drain, but you're still going to have problems with the rest of the plumbing in your house because once those roots get in there, they grow like crazy. So anyway, I wanted to show you this. They've already ran a camera through it before and said, look, it's got bellies in it. It's got things like that. Right around the corner, the air conditioning unit is setting on it, and you can see it's tilting back or setting right next to it, and it's pushing back. And I guarantee you that's pushing down on it. So that creates a belly. So this line will clog up too. Now let's go out front because that's where the crazy stuff is. Okay, so when you see stuff like this, if you're not renting the house yet or you've got plumbing problems, this lets you know there was a problem. So that kitchen line coming around in turns, this is what they've got in, I guess, for like a clean out or something, in case it clogs up from here to where they tied in. Either way, guys, something like this, if you're not taking care of everything under the house, or if the plumber you've hired isn't, guys, this can lead to problems later, as we're finding now. This is just another sign of things to be careful of. This is a water line coming out of the valve box here going up. Now, I hadn't opened up the valve box or anything like that. What that tells me is there were leaks on the water system too. That's why they had to install this. This again is another reroute. They're eliminating the line that went up under the house, bringing in another one here. And I have no idea when this was done, how it was done, or anything at all. But now they've brought this up and in to tie in there somewhere to tie back into the water line. That's enough about the water line. I'm gonna go ahead now and pull the caps off the clay knots and look at it and see what I can see. And we've got the sewer camera right here. We'll run in and see what we can find. As you see, well, we're recording now. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna run this down inside the clay knot. I love it because I can look right here on my camera and see how far down I'm in I can see so many different things. So we're headed up under the house now, and as you can see, right there is the other clean out coming up and out. I go in here and it looks like it transitions to cast iron real quick. So the age of this house, this whole neighborhood was plumbed in cast iron. And even though the cast iron's got a little scale, it's not too bad. But then I get in here and that looks like a broken piece of cast iron. So that kind of makes me wonder, okay, where'd that come from? And I'm holding water right here. And it looks like I've got roots. I'm getting a blockage here, so I've got toilet paper buildup, soft stoppage. Should be able to go right around that. And I got a belly there, so that's what's causing the paper to stay. So when you get to an area like this, what you understand is, I guess, as a homeowner, you need to understand when plumbers tell you there's a belly, that's what happens. You get a low point in that line, it kind of bellies down, and you get a soft stoppage like that. So poop, toilet paper, anything you flush down the toilet, if the water's not enough to push it back up that hill, it's going to go down in that belly and stop. And that's eventually going to lead to clogs. And that's what plumbers have to come out and unstop all the time. That's why when they tell you you've got a belly under there, it's something worth looking at. As you can see now, I'm starting to come back up out of that belly because now the water's gone. So right here, what I would do if I was a plumber, I would mark this for my homeowner and say from 18'8" back to, I think it started around 15, 16 feet, we've got a belly, and we can look at that and double check that on the way out. But since I've gone in past that, I want to go ahead and go in and just see if I can see, got more signs of roots right here. So the roots right there, that's letting you know that you are getting roots inside the pipe, and these roots are going to continue to grow. They're looking for water. Okay, so here's the 2-inch line going over towards the kitchen. So you can see it right there on the right. I can't have the homeowner go turn the water on because, well, that line's been rerouted. But this is the one that possibly these roots started growing in from and doing different things. Now, that line just goes over to the kitchen, so there should be a line either continuing back or angling to the left to go over towards the restrooms and the laundry room. La cucaracha. Ooh, now we got a bunch of them. So that normally tells me that there's a break in here somewhere because they're able to get in and out. Kill it! Mr. Cockroach, tell me where the leak is. All right, so it's real dry back here. But look here, we're seeing daylight. Why are we seeing daylight? We're up, I guess we've turned up a vent and coming up the roof now because that looks like lead been in. We saw a lot of roots along the way, probably a combination or something turned up where I couldn't see it. From what I see here, the belly back at around 15 to 18 feet, that's probably where they're getting most of their problem. That belly is causing soft stoppages and probably causing them on a regular basis. So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and reel the camera back in, and then I could tell them, hey, we could tunnel 20, 25 feet under there, replace the pipe from there out, eliminate the belly, tie back in to the two-way clean out here, and pretty much their problems would probably go away. If I were selling this job to a customer, that's what I would recommend, is let's look at either making a hole right here, or we know that that bathroom is over on this side of the house. We could probably locate it, measure it from the front back to where it is, measure from the front corner of the house back, and then tunnel under from right there. It may be closer than going in the 20, 25 feet from here. So just something that we always look at. What can we do to check and double check and also give the customer options as different ways to do it. But I don't know that you have to do a whole house repipe on this. I truthfully think that by looking at this, you've got a belly under there that starts right around in here. So I'm at 13'3". So you got about a 5-foot section of pipe that bellies. And I think once you eliminate that problem, you've got to understand there's always going to be a problem with that kitchen line because I doubt that anybody went up under there. Now, right here where this branch is, this is one thing that we teach at Leak Pro. And I know this video is sponsored by Leak Pro. But I want to take just a second right here and tell you why the training that Leak Pro does is important. We teach people how to isolate those lines. So literally, we would teach you how to be able to stick a test ball down in there and turn it up sideways, blow it up, fill up that line. Now you can test everything but that line. So if you think that you've got a leak on that line, you isolate it, you test it and say, look, the leak went away. So that tells you exactly where it is. Now you know exactly what section of pipe to change out. And if you learn to use the tools at Leak Pro, all the tools, you can learn how to find stuff like this and isolate it. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll just go and talk to her real quick. Okay, so, we ran a camera in. We've looked at the way everything's plumbed. And there are some problems. You've got foundation issues.
Yes.
You've got plumbing issues. And not sure which came first. But what's the name of your management company?
Mind. MYND.
I would call a management company and say, look, I've had a plumber come out. We saw a major belly, probably right around where this corner of the bathroom is.
Okay.
And it goes back to the bathroom back here and goes up. But there's a belly there. There's probably other leaks under the house because normally I noticed that the kitchen is rerouted.
Yeah.
Normally when that happens, the line underneath, they don't do anything with.
Okay.
So that's always going to leak if that line ever backfills or fills up. But here's the thing, and this is the thing that a lot of homeowners don't know, a lot of management companies don't know. They want to fix the plumbing and hope that the foundation is just going to fix itself.
Right.
Once you fix the plumbing, then they come in and do the foundation work. They jack it up. And yours is probably going to come up an inch, inch and a half in some places.
Okay.
That's going to pull apart the plumbing. So what
Right.
you want to do, you want to get a foundation company in first. And I know there's been one here before.
Yeah.
Get a foundation company in first.
Okay.
Get the house leveled. Then come in, do a test again, do a water test, do a sewer test, see what's leaking. There's ways to isolate this kitchen line and test it so we could check everything else. That way we could say, look, you've got a belly here. Once that belly's changed, you're probably okay.
Okay.
So different ideas, different things to look at, but
you recommend foundation first?
Always.
Okay.
And that's one thing that most homeowners don't get. They're like, look, I'll fix the plumbing, then the foundation.
Right.
Because the plumber tested it, he's here, we can go ahead and fix it. But once you jack that house up, it'll pull it apart, and that normally voids the warranty on any plumbing work done.
Okay. That's good to know because they just sent me an email and they said, we're going to do plumbing first. And I said, no.
That's the wrong thing to do. So be afraid of any plumbing company that tells you that.
Okay.
So guys, we've seen a house now with foundation problems and plumbing problems. Scary? Yeah, it really is, especially if you're the renter. What if the property management company's like, look, we're not going to fix that? Well, now they've got to deal with these problems every time it backs up. So if you love this video, I definitely think you're going to like that one.
Worst rental company on the planet. Like, they don't ever call you. They just, and this is an investment property, so the owner doesn't care about it.
Right.
So it's like trying to get someone to call you and let you know, and like they come out and give me like so many estimates, and then nobody follows up with me. So it's so frustrating. You can work that into the video sometime.
Yeah, no, I'm actually thinking, what's the name of the company? Maybe I call them and say, hey, we just want to.
It's funny, like I had.
Do y'all not fix stuff like
I send in bills and
Dude,
stuff.
they sent me one of your videos. I was having plumbing issues when I first moved in with my toilet, and they were like, watch this video and try this. I was like, I work for him.